Good day, everyone, and welcome to IELTS lessons, IELTS Advanced Introduction to IELTS Speaking, Speaking Part 2, the individual long term. Now, in this section, you will be given a task card on a particular topic, and this will include key points that you should talk about. And here is an example of a cue card. For example, it says here, describe an event that you attended recently. Now you should say what and where the occasion was, who were there, what happened, and describe how you enjoyed. Now this section of speaking test gives you the opportunity to speak for longer on a topic. Now you will be given 1 minute to prepare to talk about the topic on the task card, and pencil and paper will be provided for you to make notes. Now after you prepare your answer, you will have to talk for 2 minutes, and then the examiner will ask you 1 or 2 follow-up questions on the same topic. Now this part of the test takes around 3 to 4 minutes in total, and the topics here can range from people, things, place, or events. Now just like part 1, IELTS Speaking Part 1, the questions are all relevant to your personal experiences. So both Speaking Part 1 and Part 2, the questions are relevant to your personal experiences, which is different from Speaking Part 3, because in Speaking Part 3, that's a two-way discussion, and you have to discuss a certain topic or issues about anything. But in here, Speaking Part 2 is also quite an easy one, because the questions, or all the questions, are relevant to your experiences. So again, the experiences here can range from people, things, place, or events. So let's move on further on an example cue card. Now the example cue card here is this one. Describe a thing that is most important to you. So you should say, where did you get it? How long have you used it? What did you use it for? And explain why it is important to you. So see, in this example cue card here, you are given a task about a thing that you are very familiar with. So this thing could be your laptop. This thing could be your mobile phone. This thing could be your guitar. This thing could be your personal computer, and so on. So again, all the questions in IELTS Speaking Part 2 are all related to your experiences. And in this part here, you have points. You have points, and from these points, you are going to develop your answer. So anyway, we're going to have more about Speaking Part 2 and how to answer Speaking Part 2 more effectively in our advanced lessons. Okay, but this time we will only show you what Speaking Part 2 is and what constitutes Speaking Part 2. And in our advanced lessons, advanced course from lesson 1 to 36, you will be learning some lessons on how to effectively answer IELTS Speaking Part 2. So in here, how to answer IELTS Speaking Part 2. So first is, as I've said a while ago, that we are given 1 minute to prepare for our answer. Again, we're given 1 minute to prepare for our answer, and we receive the cue card with points to answer. So that is why we need to apply, or we need to take down notes. And to do that, we need to use the method which is the window method. And what is this window method? So when the examiner gives you the blank sheet of paper for you to take down notes, the first thing that you have to do is to put a line horizontal and vertical, creating a shape like a window. And after that, you have to take notes on the key questions or points. So the key question or point here, which is stated in the cue card, is to describe a thing that we own. All right. So where we get this thing. So we have the note here, where gone, and how long we use this thing. So how long use is our outline. I mean notes, and what used for, and why important. So we have to write these four key points first, all right, before we make an outline, or before we take notes of our answer. So after we write the four key points or points, we have to write the notes, the explanations for each part. Okay, so for example here, where got, from CP store, mall, with friend. And how long used, 6 years, used since school and work. What used for, communication, text, call, internet browsing, online. And why important, connect with people, get info, updates, work, check email, and communicate. So that's it. So we have the notes and we have the guide now. So we have to write the key points in around 10 seconds, right? And then we take down notes for the rest of the remaining seconds until we totally have an idea on what to answer to the given task in the cue card. So we have an example answer here. Okay, so after we take down notes, we're given about we are given a time for about 1 to 2 minutes to give our answer. And I would encourage you to speak for 2 minutes. Yeah, not 1 minute, because 1 minute may be too short. Remember that our points may be deducted if we have long pauses and fillers, right? Long pauses, fillers, and if you only speak for about 1 minute, we may not be able to fully tell a good story, all right, in speaking part 2. So here's an example answer, where got. So, and I'll start to give my answer for about 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, so the thing which I consider very significant to me is my Samsung mobile phone. As far as I could remember, I bought this phone at one of the malls in our city. I remember that I went with my close friend to the CP store because I wanted him to help me find the most affordable yet durable one. There's a wide selection of phones to choose from, but after our careful consideration, we finally came up with buying this Samsung mobile phone. Next is how long. I've been using this phone for quite some time now. I think I've been using this for almost 6 years now, and this is the phone that I have used the longest. I started using this when I was in my first year at work, and I bought this on the first month of my salary, and up until now, I'm still using this. And what use for? This smartphone has several uses because it has several features that I can use apart from its main purpose, which is to communicate. These features include the entertainment and work productivity. Whenever I get bored, I use my phone to listen to my favorite music. At times when I want to watch a movie, I can always use my phone to browse on YouTube, a social networking site, where I can find good movies. Apart from this, I also use this to make my work more productive. Since this phone has built-in internet access, I can easily send email to my clients and even to my superiors, even if I'm away from my desktop computers. There is so much more of this phone that I can do. Now, without this phone, I think my life would not be easier as I have today. This is the reason why it has become important to me, because almost everything that I need becomes mobile. Because of this smartphone, long-distance communication has become narrowed. I can contact my friends, relatives, and my family who are living miles apart from me. Second, this also helps me keep updated on news, both national and international events. Most especially, it keeps me updated on weather and traffic updates. With all these, my life becomes more convenient and easier. That is why this thing has become an essential tool in making my life not only comfortable but more convenient as well. So that's it. That is the end of our speaking test, speaking part 2. So basically, after you take down notes, you have to process the story in your mind within 1 minute, and after that you have to give your answer for about 1 to 2 minutes. Now let's move on to the grammar based on the answer. So I'd like you to check here the shift of verb tenses. All right, so what do I mean by shift of verb tenses? There is a sort of changing from present tense continuous, from past present perfect to present tense to past tense, etc., etc. So there is a wide range of grammar used in this example answer. It says here, I've been using this phone for quite some time now. I think I've had this for almost 6 years now, and this is the phone that I have owned the longest. I started having this when I was in my first year at work, and I bought this in my first month of my salary. Up until now, I am still using my smartphone. So as you can see, yes, there is a shift of grammar. First is I have been using. So we are using here present perfect continuous. I've been using. So I have plus be plus verb ing. Then we shift to past perfect. So I think I've had this for almost 6 years now. Then shift to present tense, and this is the phone that I have owned the longest. Then we shift to present perfect. Then I started having this, so present past tense continuous, when I was in my first year at work, so simple past. And I bought this, simple past, in my first month of my salary. Up until now, I'm still using, so present tense continuous, my smartphone. So there is a wide range of grammar used here, and that is why if we have some lapses and errors in grammar, we have to fix them. So anyway, these lessons provide you with supplementary materials to practice and review your grammar. Okay, so review your grammar by heart, so that we can correct the errors, and we can be fully understood if we at least learn the basics in grammar, English grammar. So next here is the use of descriptive words. So what are those descriptive words? They are adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives and adverbs. All right. So adjectives, these are the words that modify or describe a noun. Okay. And an adverb is a word that describe or modify a verb. An adverb is and an adjective. Okay, so we have to learn to use some descriptive words. Now you don't have to worry about this, because in our lessons in IELTS advanced course, we will, from lesson 1 to 36, we all have speaking topics, right? And in these we study a different vocabulary that describes about something, for us to learn some new words and phrases every day, most especially adjectives, right, or even nouns, which we can use in talking about a certain topic. Now take a look at the use of descriptive words here. All right, so here we have close friend, close, yes, an adjective. Affordable, an adjective. Durable is also an adjective. Wide is an adjective, and careful is also an adjective. Now here we can find an adverb, which I could hardly. So hardly is an adverb. All right. So we have to use. All right. After is also an adverb. All right. So we can use here a wide variety of grammar, and not only grammar structure, but also the effective use of descriptive words. Okay, because these descriptive words, adjectives and adverbs, could add picture, or could add clear picture to your story or to your answer. Now let's move on to practice. I'd like you to write at least 10 to 12 sentences, okay, using this topic here in the cue card, and I'd like you to take down notes using the window method. All right, so your task here is to describe the importance of exercise. Now, when do you do the exercise? What exercise do you do? And how do you feel after doing exercise? All right, so I'd like you to practice taking down notes. Now, if you are new to IELTS, I'd like you to write your answer in your notebook. All right, and write all your answers in your notebook for and you have to write at least 10 to 12 sentences, and after that try to memorize your answer. Okay, so if you are my student in my class, I'd like you to memorize your answer, because in memorizing there is a better and more effective way in retention. All right, in learning. So retention in the use of vocabulary, retention in the use of grammar, retention in the use of ideas. All right, so again, if you are new to IELTS and you had a bit of hard time to give a full answer for 2 minutes about this topic, so again, you will have a chance to write your answers in your notebook, then memorize your answers, and when we meet in our class, I'd like you to give your answer to me, right? But of course, without looking at your notes. Okay, so this is the end of an overview of IELTS Speaking Part 2. All right, and we will have more lessons about IELTS Speaking Part 2 in our IELTS Advanced course. So please check out the lessons and study one at a time. Okay, one lesson and one a few things at a time. All right, so thank you, and see you in the next lesson.